I am beautiful. I am kind. I am magical. I am divine.
Hi, my name is Swissina, and I am a filmmaker and actress. And you are tuned into Candid Conversations with the Self-Esteem Queen and host, Fiona Sharon Huff. Get ready for a dynamic heart-to-heart talk where you can truly build your self-esteem and be reminded that you are a qualified woman embodying excellence now.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for tuning into Candid Conversations with the Self-Esteem Queen. I am your host, Fiona Sharon Huff, known as the Self-Esteem Queen, and we are in mid-month of Mental Health Awareness Month. So I hope you all are jump roping. Tonight's conversation is talking about decluttering your mental. Decluttering your mental. What does that mean? That means clearing out distractions. That means getting quiet. That means having peace of mind. And this evening, I have two amazing, fabulous, fly experts who are going to join me to have this conversation. First, we have Capris Elmore, who is a mental wellness therapist. And hey, Coach. And we also have Coach Rowe, who is a transformational coach. So, good evening, ladies.
Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Hello.
Oh, look at you all popping with your green.
Look,
I know, we do have green on. Look at that.
We all have to have green on. See, our minds think alike.
I know, right?
I see
We did not
y'all.
plan that. We did not plan that, people.
That's right.
So, listen, about a week ago, I was looking for some tips on mental health well-being that I could post on the Jump Rope for Mental Health Awareness Month event page. And I came across an article talking about decluttering your mental. And I was like, how perfect. That is a perfect show that I need to bring forth because we have so many responsibilities. We have people tugging at us. Our minds are always racing. We're thinking about to-dos. What's to do next? What's to accomplish next? What do we have to do next week, next month, next week, next year? And we don't always take the time to just pause and to clear all of the good stuff and the junk that's going on, you know. So I wanted to bring you all on because, let me just say this. First of all, for you all who are tuning in, they are also my personally selected experts for the Jump Rope for Mental Health Awareness Month initiative. And this is the 4th year that we're doing it. So thank you all, first of all, for saying yes to that and for saying yes to tonight. I really
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for having us.
So let's get into it. So Clara and I, we were on our way to the library. Actually, this was just before I came across the article that I was mentioning to you all. And I was asking her, what are some things that you do, daughter, to declutter? And one of the things that she said was that she puts her phone on the do not disturb option. And she also mentions that she'll put on like mindfulness type music or like water music or, you know, things like that. So what are some things that you all do personally and that you would suggest that we all do to help us to declutter?
Okay. First of all, I just realized green is the mental health color. Right?
It is.
So that's why we wound up doing it all the same. Okay. Because green is the color of mental health. It's for Mental Health Month. But I'm like Coach Ron, I'm pretty sure she can get with this part. Brain dumping. That's the number one thing we try to tell people to do. Brain dump. So you spend about 10 to 15 minutes writing down everything, right? That's on your mind. Your to-dos, your worries, your ideas. Don't organize them. Just put them down. So that's a way to get it out your mind. You're creating space in your mind by getting everything out. Write it out. If you say, oh, I think I want ice cream. Oh, I got to do laundry. Write it all out, because what happens when your brain is overloaded, you become overwhelmed.
Yes, yes.
Right. So that's one of the things that I tell them: declutter your thoughts, get them out, put them down. You need to see. If you can't see it, then it shouldn't be there. Get it out.
I agree. I'm gonna piggyback on that. What I believe and what I tell a lot of, especially the youth, because our time is different now. Decluttering is really about your house. Okay, so when we clean our house for spring cleaning, we go to room, right?
Yes.
You got to do the same thing when it comes to your mental. So what I tell them, what room are you in?
Oh.
What room do you notice that you're in all the time?
Okay.
Yes.
Like, are you in the room of guilt?
That's right.
Are you in the room of depression? Are you in the room, like, what room that you notice that you're neglecting?
Yes.
So when you're decluttering, like Capris said, you have to declutter, however, dumping it, but you got to see what room you're dumping first.
Exactly. Yep. That's right.
And
you can tell by the state you in.
Absolutely.
You can tell exactly by the state you in.
Absolutely.
What do you mean by
honest with yourself?
Say that.
No, what do you mean
if you're
by
honest
that,
with
Capris?
yourself?
If you're, I mean, it depends on if you're depressed. What are you there? Are you in bed? Are you not getting out? Or people think depression just laying down. Depression can be high functioning. You can be depressed working your hind parts off because you're not trying to think about everything what's really going on. You're not trying to think about emotions. People that are very successful, sometimes they are depressed because they are avoiding the emotions that come along with any type of trauma that they have. So being depressed can look two ways. It could look for not having time, you constantly going, and it also could be the sadness and not wanting to get out of bed. Right? Like Coach said, or are you in the room of guilt? Did something happen? Did you forget something? Are you upset that something didn't happen, or you lost something? It can be a job, anything.
It can. And the thing about it is, and what I tell them is, are you decorating your dysfunction?
A dressed up mess.
Address the mess.
Yeah, so you a dressed up mess, so you need to address the mess.
You need to address the mess.
Come on now, that's right. That's it.
But you know what I had to do it, and this was something, Ro, that you recommended that I do, because as well as you, Capris, know that I'm on the go, but I strive to do it with purpose. But you had to tell me, this was even sometime last year, you was like, you need to sit your butt down. Sit down, get still with your thoughts. You also said to just write some things out and just get still, and then journal about it. So that's something that I've been more in tune and more intentional about doing. And Clara and I will even go to Mount Trashmore.
He does.
We'll go to Mount Trashmore and we'll just sit. And I'll just be still. Sometimes I just even turn off. I turn off social media. I was having a conversation about both of you all prior to the show, just about that. I had to do that for myself this morning. Something triggered me that I saw, and I started crying, and I had to just immediately get off, and I just had to text myself some affirmations, and then I reminded myself of who I am and whose I am. But I was like, I needed to do that, and it was just a reminder. Okay, one of the things that you must do is you got to fall back. You have to do a sabbatical, whatever you want to call it, but you just have to get away from the noise, because the noise can lie to you.
Yeah.
The noise, people are afraid to be still. People are afraid to sit with themselves.
It
You
is.
can tell if a person is solid with themselves or not, or how much they move or how much they associate themselves with other people in places they should not be. People will put up with a whole bunch of stuff just because they don't want to hear their thoughts.
Yeah. They're scared of
So
silence.
they're scared of silence. Because really, you're not being silent, to be honest with you. You're not silent at all because you always have thoughts moving. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have over 50,000 thoughts a day. They go up and up every year as we do our, as we do more studying, as we do more, you would never know everything. You would
Yep.
never know all of this when it comes to this because we're steady evolving. However, your thoughts are always going non-stop. So, like I tell the young people, catch your thoughts, capture them, catch your thoughts. They're running away from you. Catch your life. It's running away from you. Catch it because you don't see it running. And
That's right.
so when you're sitting there, observe what you're going through. Like observe it as a third party.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Coach. Thought tracking, right? You need to notice the reoccurring negative thoughts that you have. Track them.
Okay.
Figure out what triggers them,
Yep.
because it's a mental loop. 9 times out of 10, it's reoccurring,
Yep.
reoccurring. So you want to thought track, figure out, okay, so what time am I having this thought? When am I having this thought? Why am I having this thought? What was I doing when this thought came?
And
That's how
who was
you
I
can figure
with?
out your trigger.
Yeah, who was I with when this happened?
Come on now.
Ooh,
That's right. That's right.
that's a good one because I recognize someone who. So you know how there are people who, when you say yes, when you're always saying yes, things are good. But the minute you say no, or those times when you say no, suddenly something's wrong with you and you get attacked. And I recognize this in a person, and I was like, that's not okay, because our our feelings matter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're telling me something that's going on, I'm going to acknowledge it, but I also can't be silent and suppress how I'm feeling. So, I'm going to be like, well, I was like, this is how I feel, etc., etc. And it came back, oh, you only think this way, and da 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 da. And I just had to, and then they made mention of a conversation from the past, and I was like, wait a minute. This is like the third time that this person has tried to silence me standing up for myself and saying no. So I can no longer have this person in my space because they're going to make me upset. And I don't want to, there's a Brooklyn side to me. Let's be clear. So I was like, I'm not trying to go off. My crown is always, I always wanted to remain straight. So I know that this person's their how they're acting is a trigger for me. And anything that disrupts my mental peace gotta go. And I just recognize like 1, 2, 3, nope, that's it. That's it. So I just made that executive decision to fall back, and not to be upset, mad, nothing, but I just know that I seek peace. I strive to be peaceful. And this work is serious and it's important to me, and I can't have anybody or anything infiltrate that.
I feel like certain people are in our lives for a reason. I know that in my life personally, I only have certain people in my life that I'm gonna allow you to be in my life, put it that way, because I want you in my world. However, I know that certain people that I come across with because of the work that I do, that I have to work with them. I may not always like them, however, but because of the cause, we still can get the job done.
Right.
Some people gonna irritate you to the point of no return, and they're gonna trigger you to the point of no return. But I had to learn, is this person valuable in my life? Or is this something that I need to learn about myself? Or is this just a seasonal person? Because when I break that down, then I can determine how I can place you in my life. Because sometimes people gonna be in your life. I have certain people in my life that trigger the hell out of me. Excuse me for saying that, but they're close to me.
Right.
But I know why they're there. But it's also to help me grow and learn about myself. I learned my impatience. I had to learn how to not be triggered. I was very emotional. I had to learn what my feelings were. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to observe them, but I also wanted to see, well, why am I triggered all the time? Is it something about me that person is bringing to the forefront that I don't like? Because we're all reflections. Let's just be 100. So let me see why this person is in my life and why I'm triggered by that person. Is it something that I'm doing? Because sometimes people are in your lives to make you grow
This is
and to
true.
help you grow. And then sometimes it may not be the best way. It's training. And then sometimes people in your life to just, and it's like but you got to learn it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself some questions like, well, why are they here? I like to know.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, see, and all that you say, of course, is valid, and I did those things, and it's like you keep coming back to the same thing, and so for me, again, it's not a bad thing, but I don't want to be exhausted from acknowledging or having to acknowledge my feelings. So,
Mental health is our responsibility, right? I can't expect you to worry about how I think, how I feel. That is my responsibility. And when something becomes overwhelming, it's also my responsibility to back up, and it's okay, right? It's okay
right.
to decide no. I know Coach probably can deal with this. If you talking to people all day, and I tell my girlfriends, they understand me. If I done did sessions all day and I'm up to 6 or 7 sessions and I come home and my phone ring, and if it's my girlfriend, I'm going to answer it and say, hey, are you good? Then they said,
Yeah.
okay. I said, okay, but right now I don't have the mental capacity to deal with anything else. I will give you a call tomorrow. Okay, girl,
Absolutely.
no worries. That's it.
Right.
It's okay, because
Right.
I need to protect me. I'm not expecting nobody to protect me, because if I would have stayed on the phone, they would have talked no matter how many sessions I had today. So mental
Exactly.
health is also our responsibility. That's why I'm glad we're having this conversation, to be able to give people the resources, be able to give people to understand, to say, it's okay. I'm not asking you to take care of me. I need to take care of me. So when something
Absolutely.
triggers you, you need to figure it out. Like, okay, how much do I need to remove myself from this situation in order to still be effective?
Right.
Absolutely. It's like composting, is what I call it. It's like composting. So you take all that stuff and then you got to really like change that and make it something more.
Exactly.
Because it's totally different when you do that as opposed to setting it to the side or suppressing it, or when people like say, I'm letting it go. You're really not letting it go. You're not.
Yeah.
So just compost it. Make it fertile.
Yeah.
And then that way you
Exactly.
can grow from it and you can blossom from it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. All right,
Well,
Coach. Good. That's good.
yeah, but I found such peace when I just decided to fall back. I just felt such peace, and I was like, and it's okay, and the person is going to be okay. I mean, I love people. I love serving people. I love empowering people. And I love me too. I love me some Fiona Shawn Huff, and as I get better with time and
Mm-hmm.
age, I know that, like you said, Caprice,
Mm-hmm.
mental health is our responsibility. And we have to say yes to ourselves first and foremost. My mama always say, self-preservation. Well, I have to preserve my peace. And it's not a negative thing or bad thing to just, fall back just a little bit. And
Yeah.
like you said, Ro, to be able to assess, situations or persons and things, because it's just all about being better and
It
growing.
is.
I just want to grow. I just want my mind to be free and clear, because there's a lot going on, at our jobs,
Yeah.
in the communities, in our cities, in just the world. It's just a lot going on, and we're pulled and stretched, and we have to find those ways to.
And in order to not be to get back to that space, because we have a tendency to do this brain dumping to get all it out, but then what happened? We get back on that hamster wheel and we do it again. So every year everybody had that resolution. Oh, I'm going to clean up before the new year. Everything is, but we forget to clean up our mind. But after we clean up our mind, we should really put ourselves on a mental diet, right? The mental diet. What you watching, right? What about you watching? What you reading? What you listening to? What's inspiring you? Right?
Who you're around?
Change that. Right? So you need to audit your input. Start auditing your input. What is going on to help you not get to that level again? Right? Instead of certain social media, switch to enriching media, podcasts, books. I have audiobooks, and I need both, right? Because I gotta know how to learn. I have an audiobook, and then I also have the regular book. So I'm listening to it while I'm reading it.
Okay. I like that. You said audit your input.
That's what I have to do. That's what we're doing. And then I tell people a mental diet. Then I tell people curate your circle. Reconnect with those who nourish you mentally and emotionally. Absolutely. You need to also dump out, coach. You're going to like this. Coach out, dump out some of them people. Absolutely. That you connected to that's really not serving you any purpose. That's also because don't forget, we cannot unhear things. So whatever we hear, we're taking in.
Absolutely.
Right? We can't unhear. So if you have those friends that's not giving you, right? If you not have them friends that's not feeding you emotionally, mentally, you need to let them go. That's part of your cleanup process. Because that's also get embedded in your brain. So remember, audit your input.
Okay.
That's going to help you not get back to that. At least those are some tips that I can think of that I tell people, because we take in stuff every day. So you got to be mindful what you're taking, because what you take in is going to come out.
One way or another.
One way or another. You're right. It's going to come out. Exactly. So when it's going to come out in an emotion, that's the number one thing that comes out in an emotion. Especially if you don't know how to identify the emotion, you don't know how to communicate that emotion, it's going to come out. So any suppressed emotion always turn to anger, because that's the first thing you do. It always go to anger. So when you see all these people angry, it's because they're not expressing their emotions, or they don't have the language to express their emotion, and they holding it in, because that's the first thing you know how to do is lash out, disrespect, argue, because that's the only way you can get it out.
And I was always taught high emotions is low intelligence.
That's right. That's right.
So you're supposed to feel the emotion. You're supposed to go through the process. However, they don't never know how to debunk the process. And that's the issue when it comes to a lot of people. You don't know how to process it properly. You're supposed to feel the emotions, observe it, watch it. But look at it like you're watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to know where to put that. Anger is good. Our people think anger is not good. Anger is like fire to me. It burns the necessary, but if you don't know how to use it properly, like fire, it can get out of control. You know what I'm saying?
And emotion is a digital signal. It's for you. It's to tell you what to do. So that's like Coach said. It's an emotional intelligence. So we can tell how much emotional intelligence you have by the way you handle your emotions.
By the way you handle
anytime something happens, it's sad. That's an internal information for you. So how you process it external is going to tell me how your emotional intelligence is.
Absolutely. And you'll let me know how you move. I can see where you are.
That's right. That's right.
And most people
so emotions are good.
Yeah, most people can't control. I was that person when I'm not even gonna lie, when I was younger, I was very hot tempered. Yeah. But like I tell people, like, I mean, you can have, like, we have a lot of people that's doing what we do now, but everybody's not called to do it. And I'm not being funny, but I tell even my young people, like, I have mentors. I have spiritual leaders. I have people that I have to pour to, because if I don't, then like I'm constantly getting people like all day long. My kids will tell you, all like they're sitting right here. You can't see them, but they're literally right in this room with me because they come to work with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I have to literally have somebody I can dump onto. You know what I'm saying? When I'm going through the process, because we take on a lot, and when you're in this world of therapy, coaching, consulting, serving, you need it. And the way I see it is like you can't fix something that you're not willing to confront.
That's right.
And a lot of people are not willing to go through the process of what they have to go through. And my thing is this: a lot of people, they can talk the talk, but unless they walk the walk, it ain't gonna make a difference. Like we can tell you how to go through it because we don't walk. I can tell you we don't walk through it. You know what I'm saying? We done went through our stuff. We done went through our dark spaces. We done went through our shadow work. We done went through us having to heal our own traumas, having to go through it. So therefore, we can tell you how to walk through it. So we know what it looked like, and it's not an easy win. It's not an easy win. It's not all rainbows and sunshines. They lie to you. You go through a lot of dark days. You go through a lot of crying, a lot of purging, it's a lot. And what happens is a lot of people don't want to face that. So you have to start small so people don't get overwhelmed, because if you don't start small, you will not be consistent with this decluttering. That's why you have people all the time returning and going back to their old habits.
That's right. That's right. Like Coach said, take one room at a time.
One room at a time and deal with that one room. Clean it out. Then once you got that room clean, move to the next room.
Yep.
That's right. Listen.
Look, I had that today. I said I was looking for something before we got on, and I cannot find it. And I said, okay, Capris, my office, and that's why I'm not in there now. My office stuff is all over the place, and I'm like, okay, my car got something because I had something. I said, you know what? When I get off this call, I'm gonna do what I do. Change my clothes, put my earbuds in. You know, I'm 55. I'm going back to that 90s R&B.
Yeah,
and you know how you have to put that music in, and you get to clean it, because I said, okay, I see something going on here. Every room is starting to get messy.
Cluttered. Yeah.
Cluttered. So let me go on and get myself together. So tomorrow when I wake up, you know, I feel better. And you don't realize you feel better. You feel lifted. You feel weighted. Now I'm like, okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean. And that's the part of the clearing. So that means I'm setting my mental health up for tomorrow by cleaning up these spaces that's worrying me right now. But look, put that good music on and keep it going.
And keep it moving.
Get that Mary J. And I'll be listening to that whole 411 album and get this house clean.
And get the house clean. That's why when I was like, y'all forgive me because I'm in the studio, I'm running, I'm doing things, so just forget. But that's how it is. We all have to know that we're not perfect. We get overwhelmed. We have off days. The best person gonna have the off day. I don't care what that looks like. I have days when I'm completely off. But I know how to get back on.
And that's the thing. Exactly. The way and that's what I said, I was able to identify it tonight. Okay, wait a minute. This stuff is getting out of hand here. Let me get myself back together.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And that's what you got to do. Get back on track, because you're going to get off. It's normal. We're energy. We're spirit beings.
We're human.
So you're going to get off. We're going to get like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Just know how to get back on it. And be around people that know how to get you on, and know people that know when you're off. That part too.
Right. There you go. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Look, that's why y'all numbers are in my phone, okay? I be quick to send a text or call.
I know, right? Hey, now SOS.
That's right.
Sis.
And look, yeah. And so also with that saying is support system is key. Having a good support system where you can go to call and say, hey, you know, help me talk through this. Right? Let me get through this one piece. And that's good. And that's why it's so good to have a good support system. That's why I go down to curate your circle, because you want to make sure the support you're going to is giving you good feedback.
There you go. And you have to be careful with that. As I say, test the spirit, because everyone that is smiling in your face and saying they're your friends, they ain't always your friends. They're not always your friends. They are the closest ones that will sit there and be wishing you wrong. You can always tell the signals. You can always tell somebody's always got something negative to say about you, and they're supposed to be your friend or something. They don't never have nothing great to say, or if they don't check you when you off, it's like, or I can't be myself around you. Like, I mean, like, it's certain triggers that you know when it comes to certain people. Everybody's not gonna rock with me. Everybody gonna rock with you, but you know who does, and it shows very much so. And some people, when you're talking to some of your friends, or relatives, or loved ones, they're sometimes put you in a worse position because they're not there.
Look,
Right.
even Judas kissed God on the cheek, didn't he?
What?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he
yeah, he
What?
walked
did.
with him. He walked with him, and Jesus ain't exposed him one bit because he knew who was walking
He
with him.
knew who was walking with him.
So,
And did it hurt him? Yeah, it hurt him, but he knew.
but he knew.
But he knew.
Good
I
And
don't
he
job,
know where
got
Fee.
Fee at.
free.
She gone.
No, Fee right there.
Oh, I can't see it. But it's probably because of the studio. Long as
Mhm.
y'all can see you.
We can see.
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here. Listen, I was taking, I'm a note taker. I was taking some
She's taking her
some good
notes.
some good some good notes, and see
I can't see her at all. So just keep me posted because I don't know if it's a bad signal right here.
All right, you on? We
maybe
see
so.
it.
Okay.
So what I do,
Mm-mm-mm.
even after the show, I kind of like take a deep breath and I watch it for myself so that I can receive it, because we're engaging during this conversation, which is wonderful, but I also go back so that I can get some more from me. You know what I mean? So I took down some notes. So some things that you all talked about was Ro, you was like, what room are you in? And what room are you neglecting? Catch your thoughts, thought tracking, the mental diet. I love that. Having auditing your input, curating your circle, dumping out those people that no longer serve you. Like, this is all some good stuff that we can we receive for ourselves, individually, and then for those who are tuned in to just watch the replay, even after the live ends. Watch this replay again and again and again and again, because it's a lot of great tips that have been shared throughout the course of the podcast that's really going to help you mentally. Again, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, but it does not end when May the 31st
That's
ends.
right.
This is a continuous thing. Our mental health is a daily it's a daily thing. And then even after I finish up, the Jump Rope Initiative, I'm just going to continue this work. No, I'm not a professional, an expert, but I have a heart for helping, particularly, the women I serve through the Self-Esteem Queen, to be their best. And when our mental is straight, that contributes to us being our best. It can, because even, our mental health impacts our self-esteem.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
please, for you all who are listening, share the replay. Share the replay. Tag a queen. Share it in your group. Share with your family, your friends, your sorority sisters. Share with everybody, because this is important work. And also make sure that you are jump roping. Again, we are mid-month of Mental Health Awareness Month. The Jump Rope for Mental Health Awareness Initiative. Grab your jump ropes. A beautiful t-shirt like I have on, which was designed by EBZ Innovative Designs. Get your shirt, because the money that some of the proceeds from the sale will go towards an organization here in the Hampton Roads area, which is where I am, that supports mental health. So grab your jump rope, grab a t-shirt, record yourself, and post it on the event page, because this is just really important work. So I want to thank my lovely sisters, experts, for coming on this evening. Is there anything that you want to share with the people before we exit?
Coach.
Why you do that?
Well, I just want to say,
You knew the rule beforehand.
I need to give myself a little plug. I am, if you know, Capris Elmore, and I am the CEO of Inner Conversation, which is a life coach and therapy practice. I believe and I help people quiet their inner critic. That's basically what he's talking about today, right? So that they can reconnect with their true voice. So I love helping people because I believe the inner critic is what is guiding everything else. It's all about what you telling yourself and who's telling yourself. What voice are you listening to? Is it your mother when you was little and she talking about you? Is it your bullies? That's your inner critic. Like you said, all those things are coming back. Some negative thoughts just don't come from anywhere. It always comes from things that was input in you. So my job, I like to help you kill the noise by having a conversation. So my tagline is always about clarity through conversations.
All right. Yes, it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm not big on talking about myself. I'm a writer first and foremost. That's my passion. That's my purpose. I've always been a writer. I've written numerous books, plays, genres, whatever. But my purpose is transformation coaching. I've been an at-risk counselor, coach forever. I like life coaching. I'm a certified life coach. But however, I'm not going to say but, transformational coaching is my baby. I like to live on the spiritual realm of that. So that is my passion. If you need anything that you need to write, as far as grants, as far as anything, PR work, ghostwriting, you name it, I can write anything. Transformation, that's my thing. So my home base when it comes to my website, which is technically right now being revamped. So I've been getting a lot of people like why your web? Because they revamping the whole thing right now. So my company is Revolve Inc. Incorporated. I put my revolving, which is a wordplay, with my ink together. So therefore I have my writing, and we use creativity to help wounds, heal wounds, and we write and we do things when it comes to that. So I like to use my writing to help heal people. So we do all kinds of things with that. So that's what I do when it comes to my thing. And I'm so happy that we met each other, you guys.
Yes, we
I
definitely got to
you
link
see,
up.
but I'm happy to meet you, Capris. Like, I'm so happy because it takes a village. You got to find, like, it's room for everybody to put their stuff together. And it takes a lot. We need to know where everybody at.
Yep.
And them grassroots we be grassroots.
That's right.
You know, it takes a lot.
I'm going to be calling upon you all for August, September is around the time that I'm going to be finally producing my first ever self-esteem clinic. So I'm gonna need my girls to be a part of this. I've already started planning, looking for places. But it's just something that's been. This is something I've wanted to do for 3 years.
Well, you got us. I'm down for whatever the cause is for the community. I'm with you.
That's right.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'm with
excited.
it.
I'm excited.
Especially when it comes to these people, we gotta help. We got a lot of people that's hurt.
Yeah,
it is. That's right. A lot of people is operating out of trauma.
Man, and we got roll up our sleeves. Come on, get to work.
That's right. Because we all three of us are tripping.
Look, I ain't got my boots on the ground, but I got my heels on the ground.
Listen.
What? I got my heels on the ground with you, Capris. I'm with you.
I got my heels on the ground.
I got my heels, and they can stop.
That's right. We're gonna be healing in heels. Healing in heels.
And I'm okay with that. But I love it.
Listen, you just said a whole word. We gonna talk offline. You just said a whole word. We got
That's my tagline on TikTok, healing in heels. Because I wear heels all the time.
I love it. And like I say, if you can't help them, don't harm them.
Come on, coach. Come on. And it's plenty out there doing that.
What?
But
if you can't help
we
them,
don't want to digress from
we will. We'll get back together behind the scenes.
Listen, I love it. And just that's the whole point, that this is candid. This is not scripted. There are no questions from A, B, C, D, E. No, we just having a transparent conversation. I want to, of course, respect everybody's time, but even this was important to just be able to share and put out there. So I love you, ladies. I think you all are amazing.
Love you too.
You all are doing great work.
Stay connected. I will follow you and stay connected. So we got to keep things going, you guys.
Yes. Okay.
I'm with you.
I'm with you.
Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Candid Conversations with the Self-Esteem Queen. I will see you all the third Thursday of the month, because the Self-Esteem Queen has this Candid Conversation the first and third Thursday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything that we do is to help build up and maintain your self-esteem. Keep it on straight, because you are great. You're beautiful. You are a qualified woman embodying excellence. Now, remember that, walking it, standing it, because you are it. Good night, everyone.
Good night.